Good. We're all right. We are live now.
Awesome.
Good. Hey, before we even go any further, I noticed on your IG, I didn't realize that you're a Patriots fan.
I am. I am. Yes,
Hey,
sir.
I am too. My when I first came to America, I lived in um I lived in Rhode Island for 4 years.
Okay.
Back in the day of Bill Parcells and Drew Bledsoe, when Brady
Nice.
was just after what's his name? Um Bill Belichick them just started. Yeah, I think I left the first year of um, Bill Belichick. I think I left the first year of Bill Belichick when I left New England.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
I'm the Patriots fan. Check out number 71. My baby brother.
oh, okay. That's your brother.
That's my baby brother. Yes, sir.
Oh, cool,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. Did you go up there watch any games this year?
I haven't yet. Yeah, I haven't yet, but I did check him out when he played the Tennessee Titans. It was good.
Yeah, I was in Austin, Texas at the Formula One race that same weekend, so I didn't get to go to it.
Okay.
I
Okay.
wanted to, but I couldn't. I went to the
Sorry about
Formula One
that.
race.
Yeah, so it was definitely good. Checking them out play. I didn't get a chance to go to the Super Bowl. I had my daughter with me, so I said hopefully they make it again next time, and I'll be able to go then.
Well, that'd be good. That'd be awesome. Yeah, that's
Yes,
cool,
sir.
man. All right, man. Well, hey, let's jump into this. First of all, just say who you are, what you do, and then we'll kind of go from there. Let me let folks that actually met you first time
Oh,
on.
you went out on me, or I went out.
Can you hear me now? All right, can you hear me?
If you can hear me, I can't
Yeah,
hear you.
yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? No. It is showing my mic is on. Let me make sure here.
Go out and come.
Hold on. I think it messed up. Hold on. Okay, see if you can hear me now, Steve. I think it might have been me. Hold on. Let me get you back in here. There we go. I'll get you back in here.
Okay.
All right, and I'll remove you from this one. Okay. All right, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. All right, hold on. Let me. Okay, no, I was saying the first time I met you was on Clubhouse. That's
You're
where I first met you, and we did some stuff live on the credit. I forgot the exact name of the group, but yeah, that was the first time I met you. So tell the folks your name and what you do, and we can keep moving forward.
definitely, definitely. My name is Stephen Unwinu, and I go by the name of Credit King Steve. I'm out of Nashville, Tennessee, and I service clients with helping them to get derogatories, late payments, bankruptcies, repos off the credit profile, and pretty much just helping you to come up with a strategy to reach that perfect 750 credit score or to reach that 800 credit score. I also help clients when it comes to business credit, helping clients to build business credit, structure out their business, be able to purchase land, purchase fleet vehicles, or the list goes on when it comes to business credit. So, thank you so much, Kino, for having me here. We've been in business for quite a while, as well as being on the app Clubhouse, and you have helped me and sent clients my way. And once they get that credit score up, of course, where it needs to be, I send them back your way. So I'm glad,
Absolutely,
thankful, and happy to be here.
absolutely, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot. Yeah, so let's jump right into it.
Yes,
Let me ask
sir.
a quick question. So technically legitimate, there's a lot of, credit repair and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, there are a lot of people doing it, but a legitimate credit repair service is designed to identify and dispute inaccurate, outdated, and unverifiable information on someone's credit report. Um, how do you determine whether something on a credit report is truly accurate, outdated, or unverifiable? Because a lot of that people don't realize because it's on your credit report doesn't mean it should be on there. How do you determine what is disputable might be the best, if that's the right way to put it?
Definitely. Good question. So when it comes to the credit profile, there's a lot of different things on the credit profile, and we like to attack the derogatories, late payments. So that's a good question. How do we determine what's negative on there? So the system that I use, pretty much what we do is we extract the client's credit profile from a company called MyScoreIQ or Identity IQ. And once we extract the credit profile by getting the client or lead's username and password, putting into our system that is built with AI into it, it gives a list of derogatory items. It extracts all the late payments, inquiries, collections, and it put it in a detailed list. So it is good to look at your credit profile and know what's on your credit. And just looking at your credit through Credit Karma is not good enough. You need to use a good credit monitoring service, preferably, I would say, a MyScoreIQ, where you can use FICO scores. And so we pull those items up and we email them to the client in what's called a credit analysis. We let them know where the items are reporting on the credit profile. We also let them know um, what credit bureaus that it's reporting to. And we come up with the strategy to get those items off of the credit profile, meaning delete it by using the laws, the credit laws that are out there. Every item that is on a credit profile can come off a credit profile. You just have to have the right strategy and use the right law to get that item off.
Okay, cool. So you basically go through it, and once you see it, then based on everything with an interview with your clients, then you and them can determine, obviously with your expertise, how do we approach this to help them get to where they're trying to go in terms of their improving their credit.
That is correct. You're definitely correct.
Okay. What does the dispute process actually look like once you identify the items that you need to attack?
Good question. Once you see the items that you need to attack, the things that you want to do, you want to, number one, make sure that you are not disputing any items that have open accounts. So any items that are open, you never want to dispute those items on a credit profile. You then prepare the credit profile by putting in security freezes. Security freezes helps a client to get the ultimate results. Security freeze also freezes the subprime credit bureaus. That way you can get better deletions. And then after that, what we do is we prepare the disputes. We dispute them through the credit bureaus and we dispute those through the collection agencies. So we directly send the disputes first class and certified mail to each credit bureau, as well as the subprime credit bureaus too. And then after that, what happens is they get the disputes, they run the disputes through the eOscar system, and then it challenges the items on the credit profile, and then the client gets deletions. On average, my clients, they see deletions every 15 to 30 days, and we continue to send those disputes first class and certified mail, and we send those by the credit bureaus, and we send those to the collection agencies directly. So you can say that we do a double dispute, that way our clients can get results and get those results quick. And then we send those updates every 30 days. So every 30 days, the client will have either a client portal and a email showing them the items that's being disputed, showing the items that are being deleted, and then showing the items that are still in process to be deleted.
Okay, cool. You mentioned something that you mentioned the subprime credit bureau. Is that explain that? Because
Good
to the
question.
layman's term, we just know the regular credit bureau. What's a subprime credit bureau?
Good question. Good question. So everybody knows about Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. But unfortunately, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion are not the only credit bureaus. You also have Innovis, that's another credit bureau reporting agency. You also have LexisNexis, and you have about at least 20 other subprime credit bureaus. So everybody always like to talk about the big three, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, but there are other credit bureaus, and we use those other credit bureaus / reporting agencies to dispute and get our clients the ultimate results.
Okay, yeah. I've heard of LexisNexis, but the other one you mentioned in Innovis, is how you say it? How you said it?
Innovis, yes, sir.
Okay, I've never heard of that, so I just learned something myself. So awesome, thank you.
Definitely, no problem.
Okay, so when someone, let's say someone reach out to you and they hire you, you might have wondered, but what are the first thing you look at in their credit profile when they hire you and you say, okay, let me see if we can work together?
First thing that I look at when a person hires me, the very first thing that we look at is we look at their credit profile. So before we talk about any payments, before we talk about pricing, I want the client to get education and I want them to be educated. So we first make sure that they are educated with the items that are on their credit profile. So typically a client would first fill out a MyScore IQ or Identity IQ. That way, number one, their credit will be secured. Number two, they will be able to see their credit profile. Now, I like to use MyScore IQ because MyScore IQ use FICO scores. And so the very first thing is we're going to get educated and look and see what's on your credit profile before we do anything. I'm going to give you strategies to help you pull up your credit profile. That's even if you do or don't come on board with me, although we would love for you to come on board with us. We're going to run down through all the derogatories, the good things on the credit profile, the bad things, things that need to be worked on if you have a thin credit profile. And then we're going to identify the items that need to come off that credit profile, whether those are collections, whether those are late payments, whether those are inquiries, whether those are bankruptcies or repos. They can come off of a credit profile. And so we then identify those items. We talk about usually time frames to get the items off the credit profile. Legally, nobody can give you an exact date that any item can come off, but the strategies and the tools that we use and the urgency, we're very quick and very fast and efficient at getting the items off the client credit profile pretty quick. And we don't penny pinch you. What that means is we're not going to dispute one item at a time. By law, we can dispute all the items together. So every round, we're going to dispute all the items that are negative on your credit profile. That way we can get you the ultimate results. We don't want you waiting. We want you to be able to get the Keno. That way he can get that piece of investment property, that house you need, that family home, that single family home. Our goal is to get you to your results and to get you to your goals the fastest way possible.
Okay, cool. I know most things that we can hire somebody for, we can usually do ourselves. Usually not the best idea, but that's just a fact. Just like in my case in real estate, nobody needs me to buy or sell a home, but using me would usually give them the better results. 90, whatever the percentage of time is, it's a great percentage of time that it will give them better result to use an agent than going on their own. Not that they can't. So my question to you is, what are some of the biggest mistakes you'll see people make when trying to do this on their own?
Good question. Good question. A lot of times people try to do it on their own because let's just be honest. Everybody loves to save a dollar. Everybody likes to be cost efficient. But one of the biggest mistakes that I see is that people don't know that you're not supposed to technically dispute everything. You want to technically dispute all the negative items. So what that means is they'll see late payments, they'll see derogatories, and they will start disputing open accounts. So if they dispute, let's say, a Navy Federal card because there's a late payment and they don't know the right way to dispute the late payment only, if they dispute that open card, they can inadvertently close out the card. So I've seen people get cards closed out because they're disputing open accounts. Another thing that I see people use is sweeps, which are called credit sweeps. I see a lot of people use the quote unquote identity theft. And if there's no identity theft on your credit profile, 9 times out of 10, the items are not going to be deleted off the credit profile. So I see people use identity theft incorrectly. If you have had identity theft, then you can use the identity theft. But a lot of people use that as the go-to thing to do because they feel like it's quicker. Now, we don't do sweeps. We use the laws and the credit laws to get these items off your credit profile. So we don't do anything illegit. Everything is going to be legit and legal. Is legal, not illegal. Also, another mishaps that I see a person or people do is people will just add a bunch of trade lines but don't delete the items that are negative on the credit profile. So just adding trade lines does help your credit profile, but it does not delete the derogatories that are on your credit profile. So you definitely want to come to a specialist like myself. Another mishaps that I see, last but not least, is people don't wait 30 to 45 days to send the second round of disputes. So if you're disputing your credit profile and you're not waiting 30 to 45 days to allow them to respond, let's say I'm disputing and I just send disputes out every week because I don't know any better. And for 6 months, I'm sending disputes out every week. What end up happening is that will inadvertently lock up my credit. And once it locks up your credit profile, then you are in a bad situation. So you never want to lock up your credit profile. You always want to wait 30 to 45 days to send out disputes. You never want to dispute anything that's an open account. And you want to make sure that you have a game plan and a strategy, and just adding trade lines on a credit profile is not credit repair. You also want to stay away from credit sweeps. You don't want to sweep things off the credit profile because when you hear the word sweep, that does definitely mean that it can sweep back on there in 6 months to a year. So you want to use the credit laws that are out there to dispute your credit profile.
Okay. You mentioned credit laws a few times, which I think is pretty interesting and important. Do those laws come from, if I'm not mistaken, from the Fair Credit Reporting Act? Is that where those come from, or if not, where else do you generally get the laws to decide what you can do and what you can't do?
Yes, sir, you are correct. They definitely come from there. And different places or things that you can use. Let's say that you do want to do it yourself. Um, I would say you can use, of course, YouTube. You can always use Chat GPT for laws, but it's good to come to a specialist. Um, a good way to put it or look at it is if you leave Tennessee and you drive to Florida, that can be a 7 to 10 hour trip. But if you leave Tennessee and you jump on a plane and you go to Florida, by jumping on a plane, that may be an hour or an hour and a half trip. So you can definitely dispute items yourself. You can definitely use YouTube and University. You can use Chat GPT, and you can say that's like driving from Memphis to Texas, but you can come to somebody like Credit King Steve, and it's like jumping on the Southwest plane to be able to get to Texas. You're going to have better strategies. You're going to have someone that has at least 5 years of experience, 10 years of financial experience. I used to work for the Internal Revenue Service here in Nashville, Tennessee. And you're going to have someone that's going to walk you through the full process. That way we can get you those goals and get you that land that you need and get you over to that investment property so Keno can help you with your financial future. So it's essential to get with the specialist. It doesn't mean that you can't get results. It doesn't mean that you can't do it yourself. But if I know that I can make this trip quicker by having somebody that specializes in this field, it's going to be an easier, better, more reasonable process with getting the specialists and the pros.
Okay, cool. I like that. Yeah, it's kind of like I always said, like I've said a while ago, when you don't need a real estate agent to sell or buy a house. You absolutely do not. Anybody ever tell you need one? That's not true. However, you can avoid a lot of mistakes and avoid costly mistakes by hiring one compared to trying to do it on your own. So
Correct.
that's pretty, yeah, that's interesting. Is there ever a situation where someone come to you and instead of like a full credit report, they just come and they say, hey, I just want to get this one thing particular off my credit? Is that a situation where you would work with someone if that's their goal, or you always try to advise them, look, I can, but here's what you should actually do?
If there's one item that is on the credit profile, I would definitely answer their request to get that one item off, but I would educate them on how the other negative items impact them and how that it may be a better situation for them to get all the negative items and just instead of just some of the negative items. So most times I try to give them what they ask for, but let them know the results that it'll be with just getting one, and then the results that it'll be getting all of the negatives off.
Okay. How important is and how often do you keep your clients updated so they know what's going on? Because a lot of time people get frustrated with a lot of things, not because of the frustration itself, but not because of the process itself, but not being aware of updates, what's going on. Seem like you're in the dark, so how often do you try to stay in touch with your clients once you're going through the process with them?
Good question. I try to stay in contact with my clients monthly and on a 30-day basis, but I tell them that they can check their credit monitoring weekly or even more. But my goal is to give them an update every 30 days, as well as I allow them to call me and ask any questions, whether that is via text or via phone or via appointment.
Okay, cool. And my last question for you, man, is how long does this process generally take from, I know it's probably different from person to depend on what it is and all that stuff, but if somebody come to you and say, hey, how long is this gonna take? What would you generally tell them?
I generally assess the situation and what's on the credit profile. And most of the times, if it is not anything like a repo or bankruptcy, something that's just extra difficult, on average, most credit profiles will take about 6 to 8 months.
Okay,
Sure.
that's cool. Yeah, and again, like I said, expectations is important. You set the expectations up front, then somebody, generally speaking, the clients will understand that part of it. All right, man. Listen, that's all the questions I have for you. Is there anything else you would like to share that you think would be important to why someone should probably reach out, at least if nothing else, get information from you?
Definitely. I would say that one of the things that set me off and different from everybody else is that I have experience working with the IRS and with working with tax laws daily. We use the laws to help taxpayers. So with credit, we use the credit laws to help credit clients. I would always tell people, make sure you have a healthy credit profile. Make sure that you have 3 to 5 trade lines. Make sure that the trade lines are reporting on time. Try your best not to run up a lot of debt. Keep your debt to income ratio down. If you are a business owner, make sure that you're structuring out business credit and you're leveraging your personal credit. Too many times, entrepreneurs wait until they run their personal credit into the ground and then they decide to build out business credit. Always have a strategy. Always know that just because you got in a hole, that you are not there forever. Whether it's bankruptcy, you can come out of that bankruptcy situation and get that bankruptcy off the credit profile once it's been closed or dismissed. Whether it is repos, maybe you bought a vehicle that wasn't the vehicle that you really wanted, you voluntarily turned it in, but they still added that repo on your credit profile. You do not have to get denied for cars forever. You can get that repo off there and get the car of your dream. Or maybe you've been renting your whole life and nobody told you that you can buy a home, or you assume like me that in order to purchase a home you have to save the full amount. If that home is 150 or 200,000, you have to save that amount to get a home. That is incorrect. Get with someone like me. That way, we can help you to get that credit profile into the sevens. And then we're going to get you back over to Keno. That way, we can get you that dream house that you want. Renting makes somebody else rich, owning makes yourself rich. And we want you to build that equity so you can come back to Keno 4 or 5 years later and get an investment property and free up some of your income. Maybe you're tired of working 50 to 60 hours a week and you want to get an investment property to Airbnb or to rent out. We can definitely help you to do that. So never feel like you don't have options. Never feel like you made a mistake that you can't get out. Do understand that life happens. And when life happens, we have to adjust. And do know that you have options, and don't be afraid to ask somebody for help. And if you do all the things that you need to do and you get with me and you know, a home can become yours, that piece of land can become yours, that investment property or Airbnb can become yours. So just make sure that you never get so down or feel so out of place that you feel like you don't have help or that there's not any options. And even if money is tight, it doesn't take money to take in knowledge. Easily, just by changing your budget and using about 2 or 3 items that's on your budget that you already spend cash for, and reporting that to your credit profile can help you to build those scores up 50 or 100 points. So take this information, get in touch with someone like us, use this information, and you can check us out on Clubhouse. I'm still on Clubhouse weekly, teaching financial literacy. I have over 5 years of recordings on there. Get with someone like Keno so you can game plan. Maybe your home is going to be in a year or two that you plan on buying it. Don't wait a year or two to get with them. You want to get with them now. That way you'll know what's needed and you can activate and manifest within that year.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate that a lot. But I have one more question because you mentioned it. I think this is important. You mentioned DTI. DTI is so important because a lot of people would think, hey, I got the money, I can buy. Well, yeah, that's true, but your DTI is not great. In terms of credit, what would you say would be a good place for somebody to try and keep their DTI at below? So, for example, never, if you can at all costs, never go above a certain. Better to be probably 1%, but people probably gonna use that cost. So if you tell them, look, here's a good percentage to keep your DTI and all of your credit cards, and that would improve your score more than you can more than you expect.
30%. 30% is the go-to. If you want to stick out and be even more ahead of the curve, then look at a 20%. So keep your debt to income ratio below 30%. What that means, if I have $1,000 card, I don't want to spend no more than 202 or 250. as a whole and pay it off on time. So keep your debts low. When you're going through the credit repair process, that isn't the time to max out cards. You do want to save, but keep your debt to income ratio low. And as the year passed by and you get towards the end of the year, bump up that 30%, bump it down to about 20 or 15%. That way you can get better approvals.
Perfect. All right, man. Hey, Steve, thank you very much. Go ahead. Give anybody who want to watch it and see this later on, tell them how they can get in touch with you to, ask you the questions that I didn't ask. So
Definitely.
go ahead and whatever contact information you have.
You can find me on Instagram at Credit King Steve. You can also find me on Clubhouse, and you can find me on Facebook at Credit King Steve. Get in my inbox, set up a 15-minute time for us to talk, or if you want to dive in, we can definitely do a consultation.
All right, man. Hey, thank you very much. From one Patriot fan to another one, we're going to have another great year coming up. And I know that I know your brother. It's number 71. I'm going to keep my eyes on him.
Look out for number 71 on offense. Michael Onwenu, Big Mike. Definitely check him out.
Man, I did not put the names together, but that is awesome, man. Hey, thank you, Steve. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and I'll be in touch, man. If you need anything, call me. I'll do the same. Okay.
I'm good, brother. You have a good one now.
Hey, appreciate.
All right.
You. Bye-bye. Hey, yeah, so just wanted to wrap this up. If you need more information from Steve, just reach out to him. Credit King Steve on Facebook, Clubhouse, and Instagram. Usually when I have folks on here, I usually tell you I'm not endorsing anybody. I'm giving you information. If you do reach out to any one of the people I have on here, always do your own due diligence. That way you can decide if this will work for you, if it is a service that you want to take advantage of. But I've been known Steve for a while. So yeah, next week, I'm going to have a really good conversation next week, and I hope to seal that up probably this weekend. I'm going to be talking to one of my friends who is going through a situation right now, medical, but the reason we're going to be talking about is the importance for men to go to the doctor. I know we want to go to the doctor at the last minute when it's too late. We're going to try and cut that out. We're going to encourage you to go to the doctor, and I'll tell you his story, and you'll understand why it's important to not only to go to the doctor, but listen to your wives, significant others, whoever it is that's in your ear that's telling you to go to the doctor. You want to tune in next week. Again, every Friday at 4:00 Central Time, I try to bring you guys information that is helpful to you. It's not all about buying a home. It's a holistically is what I try to accomplish here. Like I've already spoke to someone in fitness. I will be talking to a young lady who I've been known for a long time to her folks. She's a nutritionist. I'm going to have her come on to help you guys understand that, listen, here are the things that you think are nutritional, the Bible said, but it's not. So stay tuned. There's more coming. Check out all of my social media page. Everything is Keno Spring on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Just type LinkedIn, YouTube, Keno Spring. That's all of my social media handles. Check them out. I try and post who's coming up next by Monday. That way, if you want to tune in, you can tune in. And of course, you can check out my feed throughout the week. I'll have different clips from everything that I do, giving you guys information. Again, thank you guys very much. If you did tune into this, thank you. If you've seen this after, thank you. But again, have yourself a wonderful weekend. And I will see you on Tuesday for my market update. All right. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.